Join me in the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Hostetler.
Here.
Mr. Kaser.
Here.
Mr. Moore.
Here.
Mr. Saxour.
Here.
Mr. Skidmore.
Here.
Mr. Walter.
Here.
All right. We received the minutes from the November 25th meeting. Comments or motion, please?
Make the motion to accept the minutes as submitted.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
Mr. Kaser.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Saxour.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
You also received current expenses. Any questions?
I have one question. OWDA showed 181 for December. I thought we were looking at 150.
150 just is for the sewer
So
loan.
there's two
There's-
accounts being paid with that.
Yeah,
one check.
the other 30 that belongs to water.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
I make a motion to approve the expenses as submitted.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler.
Yes.
Mr. Kaser.
Yes.
Mr. Moore.
Yes.
Mr. Saxour.
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore.
Yes.
Mr. Walter.
Yes.
Okay, Renee, do you have anything?
No, Mayor, I don't.
All right. Chief?
Excuse me, just a couple of items. We have panel interviews this week with some volunteer applicants. I want to thank Councilman Walter for sitting in on the panel interviews for that. The officers tomorrow night's going to be conducting the annual renewal for their TASER recertification. And I attended an advisory board meeting in Union County, and then last but not least, Christmas under the clock went well this year. The street closures was good. There were some logistical issues we need to work out for next year. John and I have already discussed, and I think we'll be able to clean up a few things that we had issues with this year. But for the first year of trying it out, it seemed like it was good, and they gave a lot of extra room for pedestrians to get across the street without worrying about the traffic. So it was a good safety idea. So that's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you. I would just add to that with Christmas under the clock that I thought it went well. I think Upco Julie has said that I think the sound system is doomed every year, but we could hear it where we were, but apparently out in the crowd couldn't hear it well. So I think that's not the village, that's Upco's responsibility, and they're talking about buying one now, so buying a sound system, so we'll see. But I thought it went well. I did think the closure worked well as well. And they always do a great job, and so thanks to everyone involved with Upco and the work that was done. All right, our administrator is not here this evening, and he just wanted me to share that some of the clock repairs have taken place, and there's still some that needs to happen, but some of the major things have been done. They are also, he is interviewing for the wastewater treatment plant superintendent, and felt like the first major snowfall went well, and so did I. I thought they did a great job. So, moving on, President Pro Tem.
Don't really have anything other than, I guess we're not having another meeting this year. This is going to be my last meeting, and it's sort of a, I don't know.
Bittersweet.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure of mine to get to serve Plain City in this way. I've learned a lot and worked with some great people, and folks, you got good people here. You need to unify and support them, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of a lot of work. It's just the only way to say it. It's a lot of work and a lot of commitment. And it's been a real pleasure of mine to get to serve Plain City in this way, and hope things continue to go well.
Thank you. All right, I think that I'm just gonna interrupt our reports and go ahead and make a little presentation since you already spoke.
These,
Very on your
I didn't have these, so. What's your number? Thanks.
So, Doug, if you would come on up for this.
Sure.
Doug has served on council almost 6 years.
Yeah, 5.5.
Yeah. We have a nice little award for you. In appreciation for your service, Doug Saxour, Councilman, June 23rd, 2008 to December 31, 2013, with gratitude for your service and dedication to the Village of Plain City.
Thank you.
Doug, you came on council and you were interested, and you didn't just show up. You put yourself into it. You've been passionate about it, and that makes a good council person. Somebody that doesn't take it for granted, and you have taken it seriously and run with it. So thank you for your years of service to the village. The village needs more people like you. So
thank you.
thank you. Let me go.
Okay, we'll do it again. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
Great, thanks.
Thank you, Doug.
Need your,
Oh, here's your medal.
need your retirement check?
All right. It is retirement time. Todd, you want to come up next?
Well, do you know?
All right. And we put the same thing on each one. That, in appreciation for your service, our Todd Skidmore, Councilman, April 23rd, 2007 to December 31, 2013, with gratitude for your service and dedication to the Village of Plain City. And you served a little over 6 years, I think. So thank you, Todd. Same things. The village, I don't think a lot of people understand what it takes to be a councilman and to really put yourself into it and make it valuable. I think that a person has to make it worthwhile, and you don't just show up. You have to put something into it. And I appreciate your efforts and your work outside of here as well that have contributed to the council. So thank you very much.
Good, thank you.
Thanks, Todd. And your boss. And Mark. This is a huge change for council to have 3 individuals going off at the same time. It makes a big shift, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a big change. Mark, in appreciation for your service, Mark Hostetler, Councilman, President Pro Tem, January 1, 2002 to December 31, 2013, with gratitude for your service and dedication to the Village of Plain City. 12 years is a long time, and Mark, we have worked together all that time, and I appreciate your efforts. You've also served on planning and zoning, and when you, as the rest of the other two, you get on a committee, it takes more time, and it can't be done lightly. All those things are important to the overall running of the village, and you have done it well. I have looked to you for your wisdom, and many times, and you're not just wise, you think things through, and you're able to present it well and help people have understanding. And I have appreciated that from you all these years. So congratulations. I hope whatever's next for you is what you want. We will miss you. Thank you very much. Shake your hand. All right. Thanks, Mark. Here's your box. I'm coming with you.
All right.
Yes. Okay, so Paul, we'll move on to you. Do you have anything to say?
Couple things. I spoke with David Brand of the Madison County Engineers Office regarding Oak Grove. There's gonna have to be a change to the plat map. I know one of the issues that was raised by council was a reduction in the speed limit. Obviously, if the property is annexed, if the roadway is annexed on 42, then there's no question we can reduce it because it's ours. However, at this time, we have to have the property on the opposite side, which we don't have. So until such time that that property becomes annexed in, we cannot annex that section of 42. The only options available are a speed study to be performed by the Ohio Department of Transportation. We've been through this before, I understand the history. My discussions with David kind of yielded the same result. We don't believe that there would be any change based upon the speed study. So unfortunately, that speed limit is going to stay up, more likely than not. I imagine that the police department is going to have to help keep the speed in that area under control. The other issue that came up out of our discussion was, as you recall, with Copperfield, we only have annexation up to the edge of the roadway. We need to have a dedication to the center line of the roadway. That way, once we get to the other side, then we can annex it all together. For the same reason, if you look at the plat map that we've received on Oak Grove, we're going to have to make a change to that because right now we only have an annexation line up to the edge of the roadway easement. We can continue to have that annexed, but we need to have a dedication to the center line of the roadway so that we've taken away a step so that eventually, if the other side of the road comes into the village, we annex it all the way across and everything's nice and tight. So we're going to have to do a change to that. I spoke with Kevin about it, and I guess we're going to have to move forward with that in mind. It shouldn't be that big of a deal, frankly. We've been talking in planning and zoning about wind power. I spoke with Marysville. I've also reviewed the ordinance from Marysville concerning the wind power ordinances that they have in place. I know some of the discussions that we've had here in council, a lot of people are thinking of those big giant wind farms. Marysville ordinances in what we would contemplate would not permit one of those. Mainly because if you're within the corporate limits of Plain City, we don't have enough fall zone, really. No individual property has a fall zone sufficient to be able to permit such a wind tower. The limitations are 2 kilowatts to 5 megawatts, or 5 kilowatts, or 5,000 kilowatts. Those are not particularly large windmills. I don't know, for lack of a better term, windmills. There's a lot of different variations on them. There's height restrictions. Those are things that are set up in the Marysville ordinance. They don't seem to be particularly obtrusive. We would have the option based upon the Marysville ordinance to have them in the backs of yards, minimum setbacks, minimum heights, or maximum heights, things of that nature. They're expensive. I don't know how many citizens would take advantage of them. Obviously, it's one of these things that's a give and take. It's an investment. If you make a big investment now, my research kind of reveals that people that have put them in 10, 15 years ago haven't had electric bills for 10 or 15 years, but it was a big front-end investment. So I guess planning and zoning, we're moving forward with that. Gone through, and the chief was good enough to send me the golf cart ordinance and or proposed legislation all the issues involving that, and I'm going to draft that up for council. As I understand it from talking to the chief, and certainly we can talk about it at council more, but speed limit restrictions or restrictions from certain roadways that have certain speed limits. We don't want them on 55-mile-an-hour roads, and various requirements such as driver's license restrictions and identification stickers, things of that nature. And I will put that together, and I'll circulate it to council in advance, and then we can talk at the meeting. One last thing, there is a lawsuit that was filed in Georgia against a former officer, and I spoke with the plaintiff's attorney on that. being a defense attorney, I'm always kind of jaded on the defense side of any of these. It was a shooting incident in Atlanta. I spoke with defense counsel as well on that. There would be no exposure to the village, but there is an inquiry into background information that they're trying to conduct discovery to support their lawsuit. I spoke with the defense, and it doesn't appear to me that he did anything wrong, but it's one of those things we have to defend, or that they have to defend. But I'm just helping kind of coordinate from our end. So that's pretty much it. That's all I have to report, unless anybody has any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you. Planning and zoning.
Yeah, our next meeting is, next Wednesday,
18.
next Wednesday, here at 7 o'clock, 6:30.
BCA?
EZA has not met, and I have not had any contact at their local meeting in the near future. Before first of the year, I guess.
Anything on CIC, Doug?
No, there was a meeting, I was only able to attend.
And Park? Anything?
Nothing said, we've had talked about doing something in January, but we'll just have to see after committee assignments and things. How much you-
Did I give you a copy of that letter?
Yeah, that was one of the things.
Personnel benefits.
Nothing to report tonight.
Fire?
There's a meeting, Thursday night this week.
DRB?
Next meeting is going to be, it's a regular quarterly meeting, it's in February. It'll need several new members, so. But there's no pending applications at this point.
Perkins agreed to serve on the committee, so we just need to get his email address and get him that week. So maybe after the meeting, Leslie, I can get that from you. Okay, moving into our business. Yeah, the right way, it's not that much. All right. Have several to go through here this evening. So, third reading of ordinance 2813, approving specs for water tower repairs.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Third reading of the resolution 2013, approving refuse contract. Oh, we're not doing that.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, the refuse contract we're doing, we had waited 30 days.
Oh, not the, yeah.
We had waited 30 days.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Motion passed third reading of resolution 2013.
Second?
Can I also
Do we
make a
waive the
motion?
tail right now?
Yeah, wait until with the motion, is that all right? If I add that to it, to wait the 30 days?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine, I was just gonna put it as another one, but that's fine.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Okay. Second reading of ordinance 1913, salt contract.
Motion to pass second reading of resolution 1913?
29.
29? Okay, sorry.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Second reading of resolution 2413, public works compensation.
Motion passed the second reading of 2413.
I'll second it.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Second reading of resolution 2513, village administrator compensation.
Move to approve second reading, 2513.
I'll second it.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Second reading, resolution 2613, chief of police compensation.
Motion passed the second reading of resolution 2613.
I'll second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
And second reading, resolution 2713, police officer compensation.
Motion second reading 2713.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
And lastly, the second reading of resolution 2813, fiscal officer compensation.
Move to pass the second reading of resolution 2813.
I'll second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
No.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, wait,
Wait.
one's an ordinance, one's a
Yeah,
resolution.
yeah,
Sorry.
all right. Remaining business, health insurance renewal. Thank you. I've gotten these by email to review ahead of time. So this is
2913.
Resolution 2913, a resolution authorizing the village fiscal officer to contract for the provision of health insurance for village employees and declaring an emergency.
Motion to waive 3 readings.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes. Motion to approve 2913 as an emergency.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Water sewer rates. This is 29 as well.
30.
All right. Ordinance 3013, an ordinance establishing water and sewer rates for the village of Plain City, Ohio, and amending ordinances numbers 2995 water and ordinance 2598 sewer.
Motion to pass the first reading of ordinance 3013.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Sewer surcharge. Ordinance 3113, an ordinance establishing a sewer surcharge fee to recover costs associated with the debt retirement of the municipal sewer plant. First reading.
Motion to approve 3113.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Doug Saxour?
No.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. Move into the visitor section.
Mayor, we had an addition, I think. It was an ordinance to modify the,
I don't think we can do that right tonight.
It went late on.
It went out late, and I don't think everybody saw.
oh, okay,
Did everybody?
for trash collection, lowering
Yes.
the monthly fee.
Did everybody get a chance to review it?
Pardon?
The monthly fee for trash collection, it went out kind of late.
Our new contract is reducing the basic fee from $18.40 to $16.24.
We talked about it, but
It's the same, it's consistent with when we passed the contract, accepting the bid. It's just taking that bid price and converting it over to the actual bill that has to go out to the residents.
it's changed.
The intent is to have this in place effective January 1st, and it would be reflected on the first billing, which January's billed in February, so the residents would have the advantage of it.
Fine, makes sense.
Are you guys all right to go ahead with it then? All right.
Sure. What do you call me? 3113?
32.
32, it's ordinance 3213, amending section 7 of ordinance number 0801 relating to rates for residential collection and disposal of solid waste and declaring an emergency.
Motion to waive the three readings of 32.
3213.
Oh, sorry.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
Motion to pass 3213 as emergency.
Second.
Mr. Hostetler?
Yes.
Mr. Kaiser?
Yes.
Mr. Moore?
Yes.
Mr. Saxour?
Yes.
Mr. Skidmore?
Yes.
Mr. Walter?
Yes.
How much did that go down?
$2. I have the old rate, the new rate, I penciled it in on that copy.
Okay. So now we enter into the visitor section, and Paul Gibson is here, asked to be on the agenda this evening.
Thank you. I have two issues. The first, I'm speaking to you as the Vice President of the Plain City Senior Center, and the proposed rate increase on water and sewer and the surcharge. At present, we pay the city $7,000 for water for a year. This is going into our budget to the federal government. Lost her name. Anyway, we checked with council. They said there would be no raises. The budget has been approved by HUD, and now we're stuck between this and that. And the problem is, now if the water intake, water and sewer increases go in as programmed, it'll raise our water rate and sewer rate about $1,000. We have for those who are not familiar, we operate 72 units for senior citizens. Now, it's the sticking point is the surcharge. The surcharge, as I understand it, will add $8,640 to our bill, over doubling what we pay now. We'll pay about 250% of what we're paying now, including the water rate and the surcharge. Now, I realize that most cases it doesn't matter much, but we're talking about senior citizens on a fixed income. I don't see how they're going to do it. I don't see how we as a unit are going to do it. I don't know what we're going to do if this goes through as a surcharge. Now, I remember before when I was on council, we passed a surcharge of 5%. It was supposed to,
$5.
yes, 5%, thank you. And it was supposed to last 3 years, and it lasted 6. Now, I hope if you do pass one, whatever it is, you'll put a limit on when it should end, not keep on
We
going.
do.
So that's all I have to say on that.
Paul, can I ask you a
Yes.
question? Then is it doled out to those units by percentage? Do they pay a percentage of that?
30 units pay their own water bill. I'm sorry, 30 units, we pay the water bill, and the other 32.
So,
How many units total?
72, 40 pay, we pay, the committee pays the water bill. The others have a subsidy and they pay their own water bill. But it's going,
Sorry, go ahead.
okay, that's all I had on that, my ideas on that. But I have a letter I wrote, I was going to send it to the paper, but I'd like to read it to you here if it's okay. It's about the water. This is what I wrote. I used to brag that Plain City water at its worst was better than Marysville water at its best. Can't do that anymore. Plain City, or Marysville water is fine now, and Plain City water stinks. When Pat Hickman left, so did the good water. We haven't had good water since Pat Hickman left. The present water superintendent has been to our house, checked the water. I don't know what their test said, but it still stinks. Let me explain to you that for those that don't know, there are two types of people in this world. There are tasters and non-tasters. Well, I happen to be a super taster. So everything is, if I take a little piece of peppermint, for instance, and stick it in a glass of water, it really makes a lot of peppermint flavor in the water. So this is the way the water here is. If I go in and take a shower, I can't understand it. the stench that comes out of the Plain City water is so great, I might as well be taking a bath in the toilet. It's very bad, and they tell me that not many people have complained, but I checked several places today myself, and it stinks there too. They just can't taste it or smell it. So I don't know what they did when Pat Hickman left, but they sure did mess up the water. And so at our house, we were buying water to drink and use, and so I finally went out and got me a pure filter, and that worked so I could drink the water. But it still doesn't help the bathroom and taking a shower, taking a bath. I have put perfume in the bathtub to stand the smell of the water. So we either need to get a new superintendent that can smell water, or need to do something about the water, because it's not fit for human consumption as far as I'm concerned. The ice cubes from the ice maker, well, you have to just put one in a glass of water, and the whole glass of water stinks. So I don't know whether you're all aware of that or not, but that's the situation.
I think it's because you're a super,
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
yeah.
He's right. The water is not very good anymore.
Well, Paul, do you know that we don't have a superintendent at the wastewater treatment plant right now?
Well, I was recommending he be fired anyway.
I know, you told me. Yeah. We're looking for a new one.
We either need to get a superintendent that is a taster, or get someone to help him with the taste.
All right, well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
All right, is there anyone else that wanted to address council this evening? Anyone have anything else? We really went fast tonight.
I make a motion to adjourn.
All right.
Second.
I did.
I drove by and I saw a diesel, I thought,
It was just
I
a
didn't get to make it
preview,
up when you opened Saturday night.
just a preview, yeah.
Make it up, it was up there through the grandkids. But, I thought